Shalom, shalom. Here we go again. Here we go. Welcome to Mother Africa Be Calling. I'm your brother, Besalel Yehudi Israel, and today's title is Overwhelming Evidence That Tanzania, Ghana, Gambia, Sierra Leone are all far safer places to live in than America, aka Babylon. Why am I doing this topic? Why am I doing it? Well, what prompted me to do this topic, I was thinking about how I walked into a place and I was speaking with a woman. She was at work. We got into a conversation and she asked me what was I going to do when I retire. And I told her that I was going to Africa. Told her I was going to Tanzania to live. And this woman being an African American, a Hebrew Israelite, aka African American, wow, she tried to destroy, unintentionally, but she tried to destroy all the hopes and dreams of going into Africa. She went in on how dangerous it is and, telling me, hey, be careful, good, hopefully it worked good. Just be careful. Be safe. She just went on, and I tried to explain to her that it is not like the mainstream media paint this place, Africa, the continent of Africa. It is, of course, like any place in the world, there are spots and locations that may have some danger. And it's a continent, and it's 54 countries. And I was trying to explain to the woman that, Tanzania is the place that I'm going. It's not dangerous. Not saying that it doesn't have any crime or danger, but it's not a dangerous place to go in. But she would not hear me. She was so indoctrinated by the mainstream media that it was nothing that I could really say or do, no matter how much I tried. And it's really disappointing because, she is African American, aka Hebrew Israelite. I can tell she's not woke, but she's a Hebrew Israelite. I can tell that just listening to her, and many of us are like that. And so, this is not something that's unfamiliar. This is all the time among our people. It is just, to me, it's embarrassing at this point. With all this information out here, you could do research so easy. It's at your fingertips on your phone just to find out, whether or not a country is safe or dangerous. You just can find out so much, and we as a people remain, I would say, I don't want to say something that would be offensive, but I would say we remain in the dark or naive to the mainstream media. The mainstream media paints Africa almost like it's one big bad country that's dangerous, poor, and that America, aka Babylon, is just a paradise. This woman was talking as if this is. I'm just going to give you an analogy of how it seemed. Let's just look at it. It was like she was talking as if America was a beautiful yacht with chefs, cooks, all the different kinds of foods you would want to enjoy, and just the coziness and softness of the beds and lounges and just everything you would want on a yacht. And you're on the ocean and you're in an area where there's lots of sharks in the water. So she was sounding off as if I was on this luxurious yacht, and I wanted to leave the yacht and jump into shark-infested water. I'm just telling you, this is the way she talked with respect to me deciding to go to Africa once I retire. So I think as many of us that can say that they have heard this type of talk before, it is definitely very familiar. So let me do this because I am going to help somebody out. Some people who follow this channel, I don't have many. Hopefully I get more. This channel is not about making money. It's not about it's none of that. It's not monetized, of course. This is all about truth and love. I just love our people, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I just love people, period. But I love the Hebrew Israelite community around the world, aka African American, European Africans, all of my brothers and sisters whose ancestors were kidnapped and taken into the transatlantic slave trade. I love my people. Okay. And one thing I can say is that being a person who pretty much loves people, period, whether you're African or I'm about people. So if you're not African American, I'm not going to discriminate against you. If you are a stand-up person, a loving person, hey, I'm with you. But let me say this. Chinese or Asians, Indians, Hispanics, I'm talking about Indians from India, all these different race and group of people, Europeans, they return to their motherland, a lot of them do, and they enjoy it, they hold their motherland up, the place which I'm talking about in America, the places from which they come from, whether it be their ancestors, or even their immediate parents, maybe still living in these places. But nevertheless, if they're in America, a lot of them, they go to, the places from which they came, and they respect these places and they hold them up to high standard, and there's nothing wrong with that. They enjoy it. They take vacations. I know one brother that's a friend of mine. His father was from Sweden. His father was a Sweden European, and his mother is an African American. But his family goes to Sweden, and they do this annually. And even in living here in the Baltimore area, when you look at how examining and watching the other nationalities, race of people and groups, you have Little Italy, a location in Baltimore where they hold their place, Little Italy, up in high esteem, and it's a nice neighborhood. It's in a good area, and it's always been well respected. They have summer festivals every single year, basically honoring their place of Italy where they are from, and everything is Italian in Italy, and they do this, and you have Greek Town for the Greeks, they do that. The Hispanics got their spot. Everybody looks back at the land in which they have come with much respect, and how could I put it? They hold these places up dear to their heart. We, be it that we are Africans in America, is the total opposite. We, for the most part, look at the place from which we from Africa as dangerous, poor, place you do not want to go. And I'm talking about Hebrew Israelites, aka African Americans. And it's probably like that in all other places in which we were scattered in the slave trade. And this is because the mainstream media has always painted our homeland as the worst place on earth, which is not true. So I'm sure people have tackled this subject before, but it does not hurt to do it again and again. As long as the lie stays out there, if it's not myself, I hope we just keep knocking that lie down. Even if I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 100, or even 1,000 people to see the truth, I'm okay with that. What I want you to do is like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed. I welcome those who are subscribers who are already checking in with me. I appreciate you, and I want you to keep on, giving this channel to other people. Share it with other people. I'll try to get better and better, bring you good content, and also I'm looking forward to some people coming along and leaving some comments. Tell me how you feel. Converse with me. I want to talk with you. I would love to tell me what you feel. I might learn something. So just talk to me. Yeah. So anyway, let's get into this. Let's dive into this. First of all, I want to share a story with you. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. I want to share a story with you. I'm from the Baltimore area, Baltimore, Maryland area, right? Right in my backyard. This has become something that's very common. The danger. I mean, it's just very common. It's nothing new here with this type of behavior. Dangerous. Listen, right here. The U.S. Today, it reached the U.S. Today, national media source. Shaking our city to the core. Manhunt revs up after Baltimore block party mass shooting. Okay, in my backyard. Listen. The manhunt for at least 2 shooters who struck 30 people at a Baltimore block party stretched into a second day as the stunned city mourned the victims, embraced for the possibility of more violence. Police identified the 2 fatalities as Aaliyah Gonzalez, 18, and Carlos Fagbini, 20. 23 of the 28 people wounded were teens, see, babies, and more than half are minors. The oldest was 32. Police have not identified suspects and said federal and state law enforcement teams were aiding the investigation. Just last week, officials had announced a sharp decline in the city's violent crime rate, citing the expanded collaboration between federal, state, and local law enforcement. I'm gonna stop right there. They always saying that crime is down, but they're saying it, but it's not. All right, so right there, I just wanted to read that. This kind of activity goes on throughout all the states and the cities within the U.S., pretty much almost all of them are plagued with this. Gun violence, death and mayhem, especially the cities. We could go to, let's see, Baltimore City, as we just talked about. This is all the time. New York, same problem. They got the same issues. Washington, D.C., the capital, the same issues. Gun violence, shootings and killings of young people. Primarily Hebrew Israelites, aka African Americans. You can go to Little Rock, Arkansas, Oakland, California, Los Angeles, California. I mean, you can name it all over most of these states. There is murder and mayhem daily. Now, I know for sure from Baltimore City that every year at least I'm just going to go back to the 70s. It's been almost 300, if not more, homicides annually on a consistent basis. I mean, just murder and mayhem and bloodshed. It is dangerous. But see, the people become immune to it. The people become immune to it. And they really believe they're safe. Why? Until it touches them or somebody in their family. This right here should not be a normal, but it is. It is. And so, but our people will say that America, they feel safer in America, aka Babylon, than living somewhere in Africa. And Africa is just dangerous and terrible. Let me show you something. Let's go here. Let me show you something. This is one of the reasons why people are like this. Let me show you right here. This right here, U.S. Department of State. You can go on their website. I'm just going to do this for Tanzania. I'm interested in Tanzania. Why am I interested in Tanzania? Because Almighty Yah willing, that's where I would like to reside. So let's look at this. So this is U.S. Department speaking about Tanzania. Let's look at this. Let's read a little bit of it. Okay. COVID-19 vaccine distribution. Since July 2021, the United States has donated 6,996,850 safe and effective COVID-19 vaccine doses with the people of Tanzania. So, and this includes 4,112,550 Pfizer doses and 2,884,300 Johnson & Johnson doses. Okay? I'm not going to keep going on that because it's not about the COVID-19 vaccines, but I'm going to get to why I'm telling you this. This is what the United States said. They donated this, right? They donated vaccines. Here's what the United States State Department says about Tanzania. Let's do it. International travel information, current travel advisory. Let's go here. Let's go here first. Okay. Tanzania's travel advisory. Listen what they have here. Dated October 5th, 2022. Exercise increased caution in Tanzania. This is what the U.S. State Department has on Tanzania. Exercise increased caution in Tanzania due to crime, terrorism, and targeting of the LGBTI persons. Some areas have increased risk. Read the entire travel right. Let me read it real quick, guys. Read it. Reconsider travel to Mtwara region in southern Tanzania due to the threat of terrorism, violent crimes such as assault, sexual assault, robberies, mugging, and carjacking is common. Local police may lack the resources to respond effectively to serious crime. Terrorist groups could attack in Tanzania with little or no warning, targeting embassies, police stations, mosques, and other places frequented by Westerners. Please see the additional information below regarding the increased threat of terrorism in Mtwara region. Members of the LGBTI community have been arrested, targeted, harassed, and or charged with unrelated offenses. Individuals detained under suspicion of same-sex sexual conduct could be subject to forced anal examinations. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? This is what the U.S. is saying about Tanzania. Listen how that's okay. Now, let's go back now. Let's go back here. So they spoke how dangerous Tanzania is, and they lack the resources to handle its crime. So what does the United States do? Donate 6,996,850,000 safe and effective COVID-19 vaccine doses. Right? This is what the United States because the United States does for Tanzania. It claims the United States, aka Babylon, land of confusion, confusing the people again. Like the woman who told me that when I was going to Africa, say I'm going to Africa when I retire, that it's just dangerous, and why would you want to go there? Basically, she was saying, she didn't come directly out and say it, but dangerous because, aka Babylon, aka America, Babylon, indoctrinates people and confuses them, like this kind of stuff right here. You're gonna. You saying the place lacks resources to deal with this crime, right? So what do? You're not sending in any kind of help as far as law enforcement or anything like that. So what's going to solve their crime issue that they lack the resources is 6,996,850 safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines. Here, take these back. Hey, that you want your crime rate to go down, and you want it to be less dangerous, and this here we'll help you. Just take the vaccines. Give the people the vaccines. That'll solve your crime issue. I mean, this is basically what it looks like they're doing. Okay. Look how ridiculous that is, right? And so then they say that it's about the LGBTQ and the danger and everything to the LGBTQ, right? So two things. We want to make sure to help you out by vaccinating you, right? And making you sodomate you. Okay? I know I made that word up. LGBTQI is so important so it's like, okay, so we want vaccinations and we want you to be involved in that type of, like we want the whole country to submit to that, right? This is what it's all about, and that will solve. Since the U.S. said it, not Tanzania, not true facts. The U.S. says that Tanzania is dangerous, and because of they are subject to terrorism and assaults on LGBTQI, and it's just dangerous. So travel advisory: be careful. Why would you go? Don't even go. It's dangerous. So. They say it. The United States says this, but it is not true. They say this, but yet their help is we want you to get on board with LGBTQI, and we want you to be vaccinated. That'll solve your crime. So now, and the LGBTQI thing is like. People are people, right? Nobody knows whether or not a person is engaging in these type of activities behind closed doors, right? Even a man and a woman, when they get intimate, if they do it out in the street in the open where everybody can see them, and these countries are very conservative, they will more than likely make the arrest of heterosexual couple. If you are basically doing intimacy right out in the open, exposing yourself, I mean, and rightfully so. So the same thing will be with LGBTQI. If you're not out in the open doing something that you shouldn't be doing anyway, whether you're heterosexual, you got to respect the public. You shouldn't be doing these things out in the open. So if you just do things and behind closed doors, like everybody need to do, this is conduct for everybody. You do what you do behind closed doors. How can anybody penalize you for what's behind your closed door? How can they do anything to you? That's why it's It is a false narrative. They are making something out of, they're making a nothing into something, right? So, but anyway, I'm not gonna go on with that topic right there. But I just want to let me show you how wicked this is, to paint this country and other countries of Africa is dangerous and all these things, right? Let me show you this. Let's go here. Global finance. Global finance. This is global news and insight for corporate financial professionals. But this article in this source has, the title is World's Most Peaceful Country 2023 Global Peace Index. That's the GPI, Global Peace Index, okay? So Global Peace Index, let's go down and find out who's more dangerous with respect to living in these locations. What country is more dangerous? Let's see which countries are more peaceful. Here it is, the list right here. World's most peaceful nations. Full ranking. Let's get it. And this is right here. This right here, view Iceland, GDP, and economic data. So Iceland is number one. It's the safest place. It's the safest place according to the GPI. Safest place. It goes down the list right here. So it's I believe it's 100. Let's see. Okay, 163 countries. Okay, out of 163 countries, let's go straight to the U.S. I want to go straight to the U.S. and see where they stand out of 163 countries. Where is the U.S. as far as on the list of safety? Let's find it. We're up to 123. Ain't get there yet. 123 still didn't get there. There it is, right there. So out of 260, what is it? I think it's, let's make sure. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Out of 163 countries, the U.S. is 131. They take place at 131 out of 163. As far as being safe, it takes them all the way up to 131 to be safe. The safest, in other words, let's do it like this. Let's do it from a dangerous place. They are 131 out from being safe. 131. So if it's only 163, they are closer to closest to the dangerous country than they are to the safest. They all the way out here, 131. They come in 131st place in safety. Way back there. Not number one, not number two, not number three, number four, number five, but they way up there, 131. So let's go and let's look at Tanzania. Since the US State Department threw all that dirt on Tanzania, it's dangerous, terrorism, they are hostile towards LGBTQ, not hostile towards nobody else but the LGBTQ. How do you even know that they LGBT, a person or people LGBTQI, unless they got some flag or something stamped on them saying it? Anyway, let's go. Let's find out, since the U.S. threw dirt on Tanzania and said Tanzania is dangerous. Here it is, right here. Tanzania is the 91st safest country. From 1 to 91, that's Tanzania. Tanzania, 91. It goes up to 163. So, U.S., what did we come up with? The U.S. was 131. Tanzania is 91. That means that Tanzania is 40 places safer on the GPI. 40 places safer than the U.S. So let's do it. If this was a beauty pageant, number one is Iceland, and you go down. Number two, the runner-up, this, that. It goes all the way down. Tanzania comes in 91. We got this information from this magazine, and so Global Finance, all right? Just so I wanted you to see there's multiple sources to report the same thing. Let's go here and let's look at this one. This one right here is Global Peace Index, GPI, and this is Wikipedia. Excuse me. This is Wikipedia. Wikipedia, it gives the definition. Global Peace Index is a report produced by the Institute for Economic and Peace, IP, which measures the relative position of nations and regions' peacefulness. The GPI ranks 163 independent states and territories, collectively accounting for 99.7% of the world's population according to their levels of peacefulness. In the past decade, the GPI has presented trends of increased global violence and less peacefulness. Okay? So I'm not going to go on reading that. There's more to it. You can pull it up. We can go to Wikipedia. But let me show you something without taking a whole bunch of time. Let's go straight down to 91 and see if it matches 91. There it is. They got the same information. Tanzania is the 91st safest country. Let's go down to the US. It was at 131, wasn't it? Let's go. There it is. 40 places down. The United States is 40 places down. That's how far more dangerous the US is than Tanzania, who they threw dirt on Tanzania. And so let's go here. Okay, so we proved that the United States, aka Babylon, need to stop it. Shut your mouth now. Shut your mouth, because you are far more dangerous to live in than Tanzania. And I mean 40 places down. That's a big old chunk there. Now come on now. Come on. Let's look at this. Uganda is at 124. It's safer in Uganda than the US. US at 131, Uganda at 124. I'm going down here. Even Haiti, as terrible as you hear about Haiti in the news, Haiti is 129. 2 slots up, safer than the US. Okay, come on now, come on. So let's go down here. Now, I want to go to the main ones that I've talked about, and I'm talking about the title. Let's find Ghana. We want to find Ghana. Because the reason why I picked out 4 of them that Ghana is many places in Africa, 54 countries. I picked these particular ones out because the Hebrew Israelites, aka African Americans, a lot of us that are waking up, we are returning to the motherland, and these are the main places that we have been going. Let's see, Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is the 47th safest place, way down the line from the US. Remember, the US is at 131. So look what Sierra Leone, look how safe Sierra Leone is. Okay, number 47, even safer than Tanzania. Tanzania found 91. Oh, look at this. Ghana, 51. Ghana is the 51st safest place. The 51st safest place on the GPI. Remember, America, 131. That's so embarrassing. Look at this. Even the Senegal is safer. It's 52. 52, right? And so look, I'm going to show you something. Let me show you something here. Let's go down here. And look, that was 20. All that I showed you was 2023. So it went from this will show you from the safety from 2020. It gives the ones I just looked at: 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020. So you can see that consistently. I'm just going to use Tanzania before I move down. I'm going to use Tanzania. I'm just going to do it Tanzania. So it goes down to 2020. Tanzania was at 91. So Tanzania was at 2023 is at 91. It's the 91st safest. And 2022 is the 86th safest. In 2021, it was the 58th safest. So, and then In 2020, it was the 52nd. So it has increased a lot right here as far as losing its safety. That's something to look at, something you can be concerned about, but it still does not come close to the U.S. Let's move down and let's look at the U.S. because we want to show you. I want to be consistent and show you that over those years from 2020 up to 2023, let's go. Let's see if the U.S. Had anything changed over those years. Look, so in 2023, we know they had 131, 129 in 2022, 122nd place in 2021, 121 first place, 121st place in 2020. Okay, consistently way up there. Consistently way up there. Okay, as far as safety, it is least safest. Way up there. It remained over those 4 years. You can go on here, you can look at it. You can go from 2010, it goes from 2010 to 2019, and you can still see. Let's do it. And I'm not going to go through all this. Let's just go and let's look at Tanzania. I want to show you this. I want to shut it down. Let's go to Tanzania, and I'm just using Tanzania. All of them I already know. You can go on here yourself and you'll see they are consistently from 2010 to 2019 and from 2020 to 2023. They are consistently much, much less dangerous than the U.S. They are far safer, far more safer. Look, so here it is. 2019, the U.S. was at 128, and look, 2018, 121. I mean, all the way down. Look, all the way down to 2010. You can see it was high. Now it started going down in the midway. I guess around 2015, it was at 94. I believe that's 2015, somewhere around there. At 2014, 101. So it was lower. It was lower. Like in 2010, it was in 88th place, and as far as danger in 2010. Okay, in 2010 it was. So, and then let's see. Let's go back to Tanzania. Tanzania in 2010, it was at 55. It was at 55 on up, 55 the next year, 2011, 2012, 59, then 2013, 64. I mean, if you look at it, it remained in the 50s or 40s over from 2010 to 2019. Way much lower than U.S. for the most part. Okay? So we can go from 2010 all the way to 2023. Tanzania has remained consistently much lower as far as being dangerous than the U.S. Far more safer than the U.S. Right there. Okay, we got it right there. All right. So this is the kind of information that the mainstream media won't tell the people. Like even people in my family are afraid and believe, that it's not safe, right? But yet they live in America where any minute you could be hit by a stray bullet because everybody got guns and they're just using them, So I just want to show that information, and I just want people, if Africa, and I know some of the countries may be a little more dangerous, but let me say this. I just want the truth. If it's Africa that's more dangerous in certain countries or what have you, then I'm okay with telling the truth. My goal is just to bring out the truth. That's it. I love truth. Let's look at this before I pull out of this. Let's look and see if any. Eritrea, that's an African country. That's 3 slots up from the U.S. So the U.S. is 2 slots safer than Eritrea. And then it goes down. Libya is at 137. Niger is at 138. Cameroon, 139. So these African countries are showing that the United States is, in the single digits safer. So Cameroon is at 139. The U.S. is 131. So Cameroon is a little more dangerous. It shows that Ethiopia is 20. it's 20 times less safe, 20 points up less safer than the U.S. Ethiopia is. So, so we know that, and Yemen is 162, South Sudan 160. So these are African countries that are more dangerous than the U.S. Okay, so it's maybe like 4 or 5 of them on here that 4 or 5 that are more dangerous than the U.S. The Congo is at 159. So, so there you have it right there. There you have it. Okay, you got it. Let me do this. Let me do this because I always got to get a scripture here. Let me show you. Look, Proverbs 29:2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." So in the U.S., aka Babylon, the people are mourning. Why? Because there's always death, shootings, murder, and mayhem. People are mourning. And the reason that is this scripture is always right. It says right here, but when the wicked beareth rule, meaning that the rulers in aka Babylon, America aka Babylon, are wicked. It's a two-party system. There are two horns of the devil, the Democrats and Republicans. It goes from the federal government to state governments down to local governments, that's the cities and the counties. Is either you're a Democrat or Republican. Then they have the independent party. But that party always take one side or the other. Either they're going to go with the Democrats or they're going to go with the Republicans. So it doesn't change. And see, these two horns are the horns of the devil. And so even if you decide that you want to run for some office and become a politician, even if you have good intentions, even if you want to do right by the people, you will not be able to do it because the infrastructure is set up in wickedness. You have to play by their rules. They are pretty wicked, these two parties, right? And so the whole country from like I said, from the cities and the counties all the way up to the federal agencies, these two parties, Democrats and Republicans, they are just two brothers that are both wicked, and they have their own agendas. One wants this and the other wants that, but at the same time, they might fight with each other, but they come together. They are together. They work together behind. They in the same household. They might argue whatever, but they still are together. Okay, and so with that, the people will continue to mourn. Why? Because they take all the resources, all the things that would be helpful to the masses of people. They manipulate the people to vote for them. Got the people thinking, they have the people thinking all the time that they're going to do this, they're trying to do this, but the same results always come. All the resources go to the top 1%, everybody else is scrambling, okay? You got people with, of course you have you give people little jobs and everything, but everything goes up, okay? All the things that you need to live to keep you struggling, to keep you never saving, always on that hamster wheel. Case in point, they give the energy companies, they give them a monopoly. They let them own all the infrastructure to bring in the electricity. So they own all the wiring and poles. So you have to pay them for that, and then you also have to pay them for the energy, right? And so they raised the bills to whatever they want. The politicians took the regulations off, so that way that we're at their mercy. So there's nothing you could do. They could charge you whatever they want. The politicians. Why? Because, like I said, the top 1% get everything. Because now, they just gouge you for your money. There's nothing you could do. You need the energy, right? Excuse me. Same thing with the gas and all that. So I mean, I can go into that, but I'm not going to go deep into that. I just want to point out the hypocrisy of the U.S. and the mainstream media that paints Africa. It's funny how Africa, the homeland of the Hebrews or the black people, got to be painted as the most dangerous, right? But yet, it's a lie. I just showed it to you, right? I just showed it to you. It's a bunch of lies. It's not true. So anyway, I'm just going to finish out on that. Shalom, shalom. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm hoping that you do me a favor, share this, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And also, I'm hoping that, you will converse with me, maybe leave a comment. And, yep. And so until next time.